big, it's broad, it's next on Sunday. With 6 sections and pullouts, including glossy color fashion magazine, Elan. There's something in it for everyone. Next on Sunday. Ask your vendor and buy it.
Hello and welcome to Next News. President Umaru Yar'Adua has summoned a special meeting of parties concerned in the Niger Delta conflict in an apparent demonstration of his commitment to ending the crisis in the region. The president had earlier pledged to unfold the terms of the amnesty he granted to militants wishing to lay down their arms and embrace peaceful means of addressing their problems. The meeting is scheduled to hold on June 18 and is expected to have in attendance key members of the administration, including Vice President Goodluck Jonathan, Chief of Defense Staff Paul Dike, Minister of Defense Shetima Mustafa, and the Minister of the Interior Godwin Abe, who also heads the Amnesty Committee. The board of the World Bank on Wednesday approved 173.4 billion naira, about $1.02 billion worth of International Development Association credit for 4 major projects in Nigeria, including power and gas projects, HIV and AIDS reduction, malaria booster projects, and secondary school education projects in Lagos State. No less than 100 persons have been convicted for various drug-related offenses in the last 5 months in Katsina State. The commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the state, Garba Ahmed, disclosed this in an interview on Wednesday in Katsina. He said that the figure was higher than what was recorded in the same period last year. Mr. Garba said the upsurge in the number of convictions stemmed from the intensive operations being carried out by the agency's officers. The Governing Council of the Kwara State Polytechnic Ilorin has expelled 34 students for examination malpractice. The council's chairperson, Musa Yeketi, who disclosed this while speaking with newsmen in Ilorin on Wednesday, said the institution had a zero tolerance for examination malpractice and cultism. According to him, the offense committed by the students contravened the matriculation oath to which they swore on admission into the institution. Mr. Yeketi noted that the punishment will go a long way to serve as a deterrent to other students. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Idris Kutigi, has written a letter to the Chief Judge and the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Ebonyi State to draw their attention to a petition on a rape case. The letter urged the officials to respond to the petition by the father of an alleged rape victim, Stephen Alefia. This followed the withdrawal of rape and threat charges against the accused person, Chijoke Igwe, by a Chief Magistrate's Court on May 11. 24-year-old Igwe, who is a staff of the State Customary Court of Appeal, was on May 11 arraigned for allegedly raping a 17-year-old girl at gunpoint. The Bauchi State government has requested the National Youth Service Corps to deploy 10,000 corps members to teach in the state secondary schools. The Commissioner for Higher Education, Jibrin Bala, made the disclosure on Wednesday at a news conference after the State Executive Council meeting in Bauchi. Mr. Bala said the council took the decision following the dearth of teachers in the secondary schools. He said that management of the National Youth Service Corps had agreed to the deployment on the condition that government would expand facilities at the Walo NYSC orientation camp and provide the corps members with accommodation. Heavy fighting between hardline Islamist rebels and government forces in Somalia's capital on Wednesday killed at least 22 people, including Mogadishu's police chief. Insurgents with links to Al-Qaeda stepped up attacks on the government in early May to try and oust President Sheikh Sharif Ahmed. Fierce clashes have killed nearly 300 people since then. Western nations, some of Somalia's neighbors, and the government fear that if the chaos persists, more foreign fighters coming to wage holy wars will be sucked into the Horn of African nation, increasing risks to the region in general. Shaibu Amadu's team is set to play against Tunisia on Saturday, according to media coordinator Ida Peterside. Amadu had been training with 23 players in the city of Takali, barely 1 hour's flying time from Tunis, and Peterside says the coach has almost firmed up his starting lineup. The squad will leave for Tunisia on Thursday morning and train at the Esperance Stadium later in the afternoon. On Friday, they will work out at the stadium in Radis. Olympic champion Usain Bolt clocked a wind-assisted 9.77 seconds over 100 meters at the Ostrava Grand Prix on Wednesday. Jamaican Bolt, who set a world record of 9.69 seconds in the Beijing final last year, was assisted by a following wind of 2.1 meters a second. Cuban world record holder Daron Robles won the 110 meters hurdles in a season's best of 13.04 seconds, while Bershon Jackson of the United States clocked a season's best time of 48.32 seconds in 400 meters hurdles. Thank you for watching Next News. For details on these and other stories, please visit 234next.com.